He believed time would fix his life. He waited and waited. Now 2026 has arrived, and nothing has changed. This is the story of a man who believed time would fix his life. His name was Mark. Mark lived an ordinary life. He had a job, a place to live, and enough money to survive. His life was not terrible, but it was not improving either. Year after year, everything stayed the same. Mark believed one comforting idea. He believed that time would fix his problems. When he felt unhappy, he told himself it would pass. When he felt stuck, he told himself things would change. When life felt difficult, he waited. He believed waiting was safe. Every year, as December ended, Mark felt hopeful. He told himself the next year would be different. He imagined a better version of his life. He promised himself discipline and change. Then January came. Mark woke up late. He delayed important work. He avoided uncomfortable tasks. His habits stayed the same. Days passed quickly. Mark stayed busy, but he was not productive. He scrolled on his phone. He watched videos. He talked about his plans, but he never acted on them. When things felt difficult, Mark waited. He waited for motivation. He waited for confidence. He waited for the right moment. Months passed. Nothing changed. At the end of the year, Mark felt disappointed again. He looked back and said, "This year was not good." Then he made the same promise. "Next year will be different." This cycle repeated again and again. New year, new hope. Same habits, same results. Mark started to see how waiting slowly became his lifestyle. He waited not only for big changes, but also for small ones. He waited to feel ready. He waited to feel confident. He waited for the perfect situation. But the perfect situation never arrived. Waiting felt calm, but it slowly removed urgency from his life. He realized that every year felt new only at the beginning. By the end of the year, it felt empty. He stayed busy, but progress was missing. His days were full, but his results were the same. Time kept moving forward, but his life stayed in the same place. Mark finally understood something important. Waiting is not neutral. Waiting is a decision. And every day he waited, he was choosing the same future again. Mark watched other people move forward. Some improved their skills. Some changed careers. Some became more confident. Mark stayed in the same place. He felt confused and frustrated. He blamed time. He blamed stress. He blamed bad luck. But he never changed his actions. As 2026 approached, Mark felt uneasy. He realized how fast years were passing. 5 years felt like one long day. He remembered all the promises he made to himself and never kept. He finally asked himself an honest question. If time fixes problems, why is nothing fixed? That question stayed in his mind. Mark realized something painful. Time does not fix problems. Action does. Waiting feels safe because it requires no effort. But waiting quietly destroys progress. While he was waiting, life was moving forward without him. Mark saw his pattern clearly. He waited every year for change, but he entered every year with the same habits. And because his habits stayed the same, his life stayed the same. The problem was not the year. The problem was what he did every day. Mark understood a hard truth. If he entered 2026 with the same habits, 2026 would look exactly like every other year. That realization scared him. For the first time, Mark stopped waiting for the new year. He stopped waiting for motivation. He stopped waiting for time to save him. He decided to act now. He started small. He woke up earlier. He planned his days. He worked even when he felt tired. Progress was slow, but it was real. Mark learned an important lesson. Time changes nothing by itself. Habits change everything. This story teaches us a clear lesson. Waiting feels safe, but it quietly destroys progress. If you want a different life in 2026, you must change what you do today. The moral of this story is simple. Time will not change your life. Your actions will. Now ask yourself honestly, will 2026 be different for you? Or will it look exactly the same? Small choices repeated every day decide your future. If this story made you think, write "I start today" in the comments. Subscribe and watch more stories on this channel to improve your English and your future. The life you want in 2026 depends on what you choose to do today. Waiting feels comfortable, but comfort never builds a better future. Action today decides who you become tomorrow.